What is going on, guys? Carson back here with yet another ridiculously sized comic book haul. And I know I said I was going to do one like a month ago for February and early March, but got busy. Now here it is, a third of the way through April. So sorry for the long hang up there between videos. And by the way, big thank you for everybody who got a chance to watch the previous video. For some reason, the YouTube algorithm kind of liked it, so there was that. So if you're catching this live for the first time or on the record or whatever, big thank you guys for the follows recently. I really appreciate it. Sorry I haven't been a little more active with the channel, but hopefully I'll work on that here soon. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about tonight, so I won't ramble on too much. We got CBCS slabs, half-price books pickups, of course. A lot of eBay pickups. I found a pretty good seller with some great deals. So I've got too many stacks, original arts, Walmart mystery packs, maybe toys if I'm filling up to it still. So yeah, get comfortable, I suppose, or maybe have that like fast forward finger ready like I do sometimes with I just want to see a few things. So yeah, hopefully I have something for everybody here, I think. Maybe one day I'll learn how to do those chapter breaks, but I do want to say hi. This guy, I don't know how he knows. It's like, I think he's just like out driving. Hopefully he's not out driving and dropping everything and watching this video. But nonetheless, he's always here. Chris Barrett, how you doing, man? Nice to see Chris Barrett, as usual, in all of the chats. He's still waiting for that Comic Core Friday return. I'll twist some arms and see what I can do for you, Barrett. I don't have any answers. So all I know is I have a lot of books to show. So we'll get started with a nice, whatever this pile is. I got piles everywhere. I'm just going to start showing books and we'll have some fun and hang out. It'll just go that way. So it looks like I got some half-price books stuff to start off with because I always do. It's like I live next to the place, so I may as well go there. I found this not a comic book, but still fun nonetheless. Mass Effect 2 Collector's Edition art book. I believe this was released with the Mass Effect 2 Limited Edition, which I didn't buy back in the day, but this is still one of my favorite games from that 360 PS3 generation of consoles. I really like the Mass Effect franchise, so just get this art book for $3 instead of having to pay like what $100 back in the day. Pretty sweet. So very happy with that. Of course, it's a hardcover, so really like that. When I was in this like a hardcover art aisle, I did find this random thing. I got some G.I. Joe. It's one of those like little Comics Digest magazines you would have found, next to the TV guides and the other magazines at the checkout lines in the late 80s and early 90s. So I found this issue number 10 of the G.I. Joe Comics magazine. So I thought that was really cool. You don't see that every day. I found some early run Fables. They didn't have an issue 1, which I think holds up to my theory that someone there, if they see something real nice, they just pick it up for themselves, which can't blame them. Definitely can't, but I'm surprised they left this one laying. Fables number 2 for $1. Which you were going to get a little bit more into some Fables here in a second, but I mean, I think there's some first appearances in this, if memory recalls. I did read this as a trade, so some of those like first appearance of Fables characters, they just kind of are all in that first trade rather than individual issues, but I'm pretty sure issue 2 of Fables is really good to have. I went ahead and picked up like the $1 reprint of Fables number 1, just kind of have this set. You'll kind of see what I'm talking about here in a second, but that is a $1 beat up reprint that is every bit worth of $1, no more than no less. And then I found just kind of like the first trade's worth of run for $1 each, basically. So I got Fables number 3, number 4, number 5, and I think it cuts off. Yeah, I ended up just getting number 6, so all for $1. Pretty much, yeah. I definitely was not going to complain about that. So not a huge Fables fan. I wouldn't mind reading more down the line because I did get a chance. I think it was with John's Comics with Kids and Alec from Whitewell Comics. I think I read it on their Wednesday show, if I remember right, and got a chance to read the first volume. I need to get more into Fables. Here's another random find for $3. This was a steal in my opinion. Just a Neil Adams sketchbook that would have been sold either at cons or on his online store. I was kind of hoping I'd open it up and there'd be like at least a signature or a sketch, but it's just what would normally open this up. But no, those $3 for like a convention art book. This is the stuff I love finding at half price books and, you know, your other bookstores like that. If I can get this type of stuff, I'll be down for it all day, especially when it's Neil Adams for $3. So I flipped through this earlier. It's a very awesome sketchbook. Very happy with that. So yeah, that's the stuff I really like finding. Let's say hi to a few more people in the chat here. We got Puff Comics 83. What's going on, Puff? Nice to see you in the chat. This guy still killing it on the Instagram scene. I don't know if he still has his Friday or Saturday live show. He's been pretty busy, I'm guessing. So definitely follow Puff Comics 83 if you guys have not had the chance. And then we got Mars Comics. What is going on, Mars Comics? Nice to see you in the chat as well. And I think the next up, I've just got a series of, I basically found a really good, it's just one of those eBay sellers that kind of just list stuff in bulk, buy it now lots. And I don't know if they're just looking to move stuff as fast as possible without doing any research on what they're selling. Some of the stuff is a bit overpriced, but there's some stuff that they're selling that is vastly underpriced. I mean, I'm talking like maybe $2-3 a book with shipping maximum, maybe even in some cases $1 a book. Communicating with them is a little rough, although trying to get some shipping discounts. I've actually got some shipping I'm trying to get back on, some Commandy books. We'll talk about that here in a little while. But yeah, we'll start. I'm not even going to show everything I got from the seller because I've gotten so many like runs of stuff. I'm just going to try to stick to a few highlights. So I got a lot of Tales of the Green Lantern Corps. I actually did not have these like 80s Tales of the Green Lantern Corps books, and there's actually a lot of first appearances within these books too. So I wanted to make sure before that Green Lantern series hit, I'm going to try to run through as much Green Lantern as possible. Because I think if that series is successful, as we know, it's if there's first appearances in successful TV shows or movies, things go up. And I especially wanted to get these last two because they got Alan Moore stories in them. And I love me some 80s Alan Moore. So I had to make sure I at least got these two. There's a few more books I'm on the lookout for with Alan Moore's name on it in the Green Lantern world. But I was at least happy to knock those off the list for like, if I remember, like maybe $1.50. Now this next stack of books was the main reason I start buying from this seller. And like I said, I got a bunch more Batman books from them, but it's just like a lot of filler stuff basically. So I got so much stuff to show. I'm kind of weeding out some of just the fillers. Maybe somewhere down the line I'll show that stuff. But here's just some of the highlights. I got like 5 Batman books. I got a lot of Batman lots from this person, but here's some of the highlights I got for probably like anywhere from like $2 to $3. Batman Adventures, annual number 1. This is, I think, 3rd Harley, if I remember right. Now, the heartbreaker about these Harley books I'm about to show is this person actually sold Batman Adventures 12 for $2. And I missed it by minutes. So you better believe the rest of the morning, I was refreshing eBay like every 2 seconds, at least trying to get the rest of these books, because I could just tell by the trend this person was uploading their auctions. I'm like, if this one's next, I got to get it. Yeah, so I missed out on the first Harley, but I at least made up for it, I think. I think this is second Harley, if I remember right, issue number 28. So had to get that in the Mylar, of course. Here's another really fun one that I've always kind of wanted because I do like me some Mr. Freeze, especially Batman Adventures. Mr. Freeze got the holiday special number 1. Now, this one does need to go into the press. I do have to be careful with it, though, because I've never pressed square bound, and this is a square bound book. But other than that, it is really nice, especially for what I paid for it. So happy to find it. I've seen this one, I think, for $20 at my local shop. Don't know if it's really worth that much. But I know it is a double-digit book in that low figures there. So happy to have that. And then these last two are the main books I wanted to get from this seller. And I was happy they didn't come completely destroyed, or they were at least bagged but not bagged and boarded. So they're not perfect because they've never been bagged and boarded before. Let's start with this one here, actually, while we're talking about Batman Adventures. I finally got a copy of Mad Love after all these years. This is one of those books I've always wanted. You know, I like Harley as much as the next person, of course. You've probably seen the stuff I read and collect. And yes, these early Harleys are no joke trying to pick these up. They're all like probably like $20 to $50 books. And then you get to that first appearance, and it's one of the biggest books of the modern age, of course. So this is one of those books I figured would be semi-affordable, but I never really wanted to pay a ton of money for it. So all these years of collecting, I've never owned Mad Love. But finally, after a lot of patience paying off, I got a really cheap copy. Once again, it probably factored out to about one of those $2 or $3 a piece books. But there's that. But probably financially, the real breadwinner is probably this book right here. I already have like a beat up newsstand and then like a third printing of it, but I don't think I've actually owned a decent, no, I won't say near mint, maybe very fine to like near mint minus copy of the first print. And that's Batman 423. Really always liked the McFarlane cover like everybody else, of course. So yeah, this was easily worth most of what I paid for that day combined. So very happy with this. This might be one of those ones that go to the grader eventually. I'm pretty happy with it. Does have a couple imperfections I need to see if I can figure out, but yeah, this is my second copy of the first print, and it's a really nice one this time. Not like that one I paid maybe $3 for in an antique shop, and it's probably worth every bit of the $3 I paid for it, but it looked like someone had stepped on it and then ran over it and all that fun stuff. Just got a few more randos here. By a few, I mean a ton. We got Dead of Night #1. Saw that. I think they had this listed like $2 or $3. It's kind of a beat up copy, but if you guys remember my October read segment, I love getting books like this and flipping through them, no matter, as long as like they're not super musty and gross. Like I do enjoy reading stuff like this. And actually, if I remember right, this should be a second book, and this is all from that same eBay seller too. They're just trying to move stuff, I think. Yeah, I got Dead of Night #3 as well, which I do need to get these in bags and boards, of course, which I got another vacation come up. That's probably all I'm going to need to have to do because there's too many books here, guys. So I got 1 and 3. Let me acknowledge the chat, and then I'll keep going with some more pickups here. Chris Barrett says, WTF, Batman Adventures 12 for $2. I know, man. Sometimes in our hobby, you just got to keep pressing forward, not dwell on these books that you missed out or forgetting a steal of a deal on. But that day, that stung because I was so close. Had I got logged on to eBay maybe 90 seconds earlier, I would have a first Harley for nothing, basically. But I made up for it with the other Harley appearances, so I cannot complain at all. And we got Southern Comic Geek. What is going on, man? Nice to see SCG in the chat today. And we'll keep going with some more pickups. So, and a lot of this stuff is like, I may as well see if I can bundle it with more stuff from this other seller. So I got some just other decent, not too like crazy keys or anything. I think that was the highlights, but I got some early Deadpool as well. I'm not a big Deadpool collector anymore because it's just, there's so much Deadpool. It's easy to lose track, but I wouldn't mind at least collecting the early appearances. So here's #2 of the limited series from the 90s. And I always like picking up this next book when I can. This is Deadpool 0, the freebie. I think it came with a wizard, but a lot of people tribute this to the first real Deadpool, basically, when he was kind of like done being that like Rob Liefeld character with tons of guns and swords, and he had a sense of humor. I believe Joe Casey's the one who came along and started writing this character with a sense of humor, basically. I think a lot of people attribute that to this freebie from Wizard. So I always like picking up Deadpool 0 when I see it. Here's another fun one. I think it's the second or third copy for me. Deadpool #1 from 2000, probably 2006, if I remember right. Could be wrong, but it's a Secret Invasion era. Doesn't say Secret Invasion on it, but pretty much, there's a giant scroll in the background. And it's Daniel Way wrote this. I really enjoy this run. If you guys are looking for like just a random Deadpool run to read, I recommend the Daniel Way one. I had a lot of fun. I think this is the run that introduces Hit Monkey eventually, for what that's worth. And then he had the first little bit of the run as well. I have these in hardcover, I believe. But yeah, especially with Secret Invasion coming up, I figured, hey, why not throw those in the pile for like $1 or $2? saw this for like $5, and I always have a soft spot for both of these characters. So I'm like, oh wow, a Charlton that's not destroyed. I'll take that for $5. Got a Charlton Bullseye #1, and has stories from two of my boys are in this book. Ted Core Blue Beetle and Vic Sage the Question. So saw that. I'm like, yep, that's going in the pile. And then here's some Nick Fury Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. reprints. I just really enjoy these Steranko covers. So usually anytime I see them for sale, whether it be the originals, the reprints, I'm kind of a sucker for picking these up. Really like both these covers, though, even though, this is the front of issue 2 and this is the back. Like, double your money. What a great value right there. And then here's what the issue 1 looks like. It's a pretty sweet wraparound, which I think this one was the original to this comic, where these reprint those 12 centers from the 60s. But yeah, just a really awesome wraparound from Jim Steranko there. So really like that. Yeah, as I'm going, I'm having to peel off like their labels. This is how much time I've had a chance to go through these stacks. We're actually down to a 12 center, so this is from the original Steranko run, except he was off the book by this point. So just to kind of give it reference, I guess. But this is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 12, 12 center. And then here we got the new Earth series issue #1. But as you could tell, I was kind of just picking it up for the 12 centers. For some reason, they ended up giving me 2 copies of this. I don't even remember 2 copies of this being listed, but hey, I'll take 2 12-cent comics for a couple bucks. And then we're going down a little bit, and we got Nick Fury Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. issue #8. And then if I remember, I think this issue 7 was the last one with the Steranko cover, but yeah, I'm going to buy this every time I can. Any of these, really. Pretty much the first 7 Nick Furies. If I can get them cheap, I'm just going to go ahead and keep picking them up, because these are some of my favorite covers, especially like that Silver Age Marvel. Some of my all-time favorite covers there for sure. And then I also got a lot of Radioactive Man. I've always kind of wanted to read these early Radioactive Man. So these are like $1 a piece, I think. So just threw those in. And in the book, I obviously wanted out of the lot and have never owned. Once again, it does have a gnarly spine tick, but it was $1. Radioactive Man #1. So this is another one I finally get to add to the collection. Yeah, as you can tell, it's got that glow-in-the-dark skeleton and everything. So very happy to also be able to add that to the PC. And then I'll just kind of abridge the last stack here just so we can keep pushing through, because we're just scratching the surface here. They had a whole bunch of New Avengers from the Secret Invasion era. I really, really like this run that Bendis did on the Avengers. So check it out if you haven't. I had most of this in hardcover form. So now I have the individual issues and the hardcovers. I might sell these down the line, or at least do a condition check. I think people really go heavy on this issue 40. Apparently, it's like the first appearance of the Skrull Queen. I think that's when she comes in. And then there's like an Illuminati something in here too, I think. So just trying to find it, but we may just move on instead. But yeah, a lot of Secret Invasion Avengers for $1. So I just went ahead and threw that in there. And yeah, we'll keep moving on to the next. So, I got to put stuff on the floor again. All right, let's see what the chat's saying. Mars Comics is liking the books. Thank you for watching the stream tonight. And then Chris Barrett says that's a $100 book in The Simpsons. Oh, cool. I didn't even... That's why I haven't bought it, because it's always priced high. I know my friend, The Great Legend Show, would love this book. I actually ended up getting like most of the run of this book. I actually bought this from another seller because the person I had been buying from was selling the whole run of this, like with issue 2 and up. So I'm like, well, I got to get the issue 1. So I'll just show the issue 1. Commandy, the last boy on Earth. So I'm actually going to plan to read this whole run, since that's the main reason I ended up buying them. What really made me mad with that one seller, though, is eBay has this thing where there are various lots, and I wanted to bundle the shipping, but it wouldn't let me do it for some reason. And I didn't want someone else to swoop these, because a lot of people have found out about this seller at some point, and it just, the lots go quick. So I pretty much just told the seller I'm buying this, but if you give me the shipping back, that you're just going to pocket because you're obviously combining everything. Appreciate it. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's no problem. That was 2 weeks ago. I'm still waiting for that. So, yeah, hopefully I get my Commandy shipping money back. But happy to have a first issue at the very least, too. I actually got this for, I think it was like, I paid a lot for this one. It was a $20 book, which it's a lot for me for a book. So, but it was a Commandy number one. I actually had this as a kid. I don't know where my copy's at. It's been driving me crazy. So that's why I finally just splurged and bought a new copy of Commandy because it was getting frustrating not having it. All right. So I think before we keep going, because I got a whole nother giant stack of books. I know there's people sitting at home like, I got to sit through all these books. I just want to see the slabs or I want to see the original art. So we're going to put a break on the book pickups. And we're going to talk about some CBCS slabs. So I got 10 slabs back in the mail and I got impatient. I had to unbox them. I was going to do the unboxing video again. I'm going, it's just going to sit in my table in my living room forever. So I may as well just unbox them, see what we got. And then we can talk about it here at that later time. And here we are at that later time. So I don't know. I don't think I have these in any order. I know I got 2 on top that I wasn't thrilled about, but they're not bad. Just a little lower than I wanted. But at the same time, I didn't pay tons for any of these individual issues. So I don't feel bad with the grades at all because of that. So we'll work our way up basically. So the first one, this was my original copy of this comic I bought when I started reading this run. It's one of my favorite Marvel runs in recent memory, and that's the Matt Fraction Hawkeye. So I was lucky enough to actually pick up the Addy Granoff. I think it's a 1 in 10 or a 1 in 25. Of course, it doesn't say on the slab. Why would it? But it's a ratio variant of some sort. But I really liked the cover back in the day, but I actually read the story and really liked it enough to put on my pull list for the entirety of the run. So I figured why not go ahead and get the slab for the personal collection since I like the run so much. But it only came back a 9.0, and that's a little disheartening since this has been my copy the whole time. But it probably has something to do with the fact that this was one of my wall books, basically. So I probably peeled it off the wall, probably put a spine tick or 2 on it, but you know, that's why I don't put like the triple figure books. I just put the fun books I get signed and probably had in my backpack jostling around at a con on the wall around if you ever seen my room tour video. So can't say I'm entirely surprised that it's a 9.0. I did expect a little bit higher. There is some creasing on the back, but it doesn't break color. So probably could press it out to a better score, but yeah, I'm probably not going to bother doing that. So that one's staying in the collection. This is kind of one of those books. I'm like, well, I saw the other version number 1 going up, and I was sending books, so I just threw this one in the pile to see what would happen. And yeah, I think I paid $1 for the copy of the book anyway. Young Avengers number 1, volume 2, the Karen Gill and Jamie McKelvey side of the run, which a lot of people sleep on this side of the run. I think I don't know if I want to call it the better run. They're both really good, in my opinion. I don't know if I want to compare the two because I like them as one big read. I think I do kind of like McKelvey's art a little bit better, though. But Jim Chung's great, too, so it's kind of hard to tell. But nonetheless, I really like this run. Decided to get it slabbed. Only came back at 9.0, though, which, once again, yeah, there's one big color break on the back. Yeah, that I understand that. So, yeah, got that at a 9.0. Next up, this is one of those books I think I got an eBay win because I wanted that book, and then this book just kind of came with it, and I was going to send stuff to CBCS that day. So I just unboxed my eBay package and threw the 2 books in, sent them to CBCS. So I probably owned this book for like 10 minutes before I decided to go send it to grading. So all new Wolverine number 1 and 9.4. So X-23 finally becomes Wolverine, gets her own book. A lot of fun in this run. So came back to 9.4. So not too bad for something I literally just took out of one box and put in the other, basically. We'll save those for the highlights. Actually did get some 9.8, so that's great. We'll continue with the kind of 9.0 train, I guess. We got Marvel Comics Presents number 72, the great Barry Windsor Smith Weapon X issue. Came back at 9.0. Could ask for a little better, but it does have some color breaks on it, so can't say I'm too disappointed. I just sent this book at the time because it was seeing a lot of heat for some reason. So, yeah, just was on a bit of an X-Men kick, I guess, when I was putting this package together. Uncanny X-Men 248. I wonder if I sent this to CGC if they would have graded like an 8.5 because every CGC X-Men book I get back seems to be lower than my expectations, but this almost met mine at a 9.4, so not too bad there. First Jim Lee, of course. So I had to get it because of that. Also got First Bishop, 9.6, so not too bad. This is probably a $2 antique shop pull, if I remember correctly. Or maybe it was a $5 comp pull. I can't remember. I had a few copies of this book at one point, but I think this is my only one now. But pretty good for 9.6. Happy with that. And then I got 4 9.8s. So, yay. 4 for 10. Not bad, I guess. We'll start with this top one, which I was like, this better be a 9.8 because it's a J. Scott Campbell store exclusive. I never even took it out of the bag. I just, you get those for the covers, obviously. We got Phoenix Resurrection, Return of Jean Grey. Came back at 9.8. Definitely one of my favorite J. Scott Campbell store exclusive covers. And I never realized the back has a upside down virgin variant of its own, basically. So always like that cover. Anytime I can get J. Scott Campbell Dark Phoenix, I usually, that's like the worm and I'm like the fish on the hook, basically. So happy that came back at 9.8. We got Zatanna number 1. This is the Brian Bolland variant from the 2010 run. Don't see this too much floating around ever, so I was like, I've thought about selling it a couple times, but I'm like, you know what? I may as well just get it slabbed, at least that way if I do decide to sell it again. I knew it was high grade, and it came back at 9.8. So now I definitely am glad I did not sell it and could probably do that again. Now it's slabbed. So, plus Brian Bolland. Why not get it slabbed? Then the last two are probably, the main reason I sent the package. I wanted to get these two graded overall. This is that other all-new Wolverine I was telling you guys about. Literally owned it for like a minute, put it in a box and shipped it out. And if there was one of the ones that could come back at 9.8, I'm glad it was this one. All-new Wolverine number 2, first appearance, a Honey Badger at a 9.8. Very happy with that. And then the last one, pretty thrilled about this one too. Amazing Spider-Man number 4, first appearance of Silk. And this was my reader copy too, so it shows that I took good care of the book while I was reading it, I guess. So really like this Dan Slott run too. A lot of people just talk about First Silk this and First Silk that, but this is a pretty fun run. I think this is the one, if I remember correctly, also leads into all the Spider-Verse fun down the line. So good run to read if you haven't had a chance. Good Spider-Man. All right. Now that that's done, we're going to take a sip of water here. Chris Barrett was reminding me that there is an episode of The Simpsons where Bart, Martin, and Milhouse buy Radioactive Man for the $100. Just to clarify that book is actually not worth $100 in the real world. Thank you for the clarification. All right, let's see what else we got here. I think this is my antique shop haul here. Got some $2 books the other day when I was on the road. Stopped by one of, I guess that was a honey hole, if you will, even though it's starting to dry up a little bit, I'll be honest. Like I don't know if they're just hoarding books when movies and stuff come out. I still find the Surprise Key here and there, which I found one pretty decent book, but nothing too crazy the last couple times I've been there. Yeah, my piles kind of get smaller and smaller every time I make the trip. So I used to go there monthly. Now I just go there like maybe once a season, basically. But I did get King Size X-Men Annual number 5. Got a lot of run filler X-Men going, but I need to do a better job filling the annuals too. I got a good chunk of them done past this, but I saw this. I'm like, yeah, I actually don't have an annual number 5. Speaking of annual number 5s, I also got the Swamp Thing annual number 5 because I saw Neil Gaiman and Mike Mignola's names on this book. So I'm like, well, this is probably a really good read. So I decided to pick it up for $2. Found a House of Mystery number 300. Nice Mia Kaluta cover on that one. So figured why not? That's probably a fun read. I got a couple of homage Mighty Avengers covers from the Secret Invasion run once again. Got Mighty Avengers number 14. You probably recognize that cover. And Mighty Avengers 16, which is a swipe the first appearance of Elektra. So I thought that was pretty neat. And then this was probably like, it's not a huge find, but considering what the guy had in his glass case, he must have just forgot he had this in his $2 bin or something. Sandman number 6. So these early number Sandmans are starting to all go up big time because of the Netflix series, impending, coming out at the end. I think it's the end of this year, something like that. But pretty much every single digit Sandman he had was in his glass showcase for double, or maybe even, I don't know if he had death at triple digits. I can't remember. I wasn't looking for the book because it's right there. So I don't need another copy unless I find it for $2. But I found an issue number 6 of Sandman for $2, which I got to check this with the one I have in the collection and maybe sell my other one. But that all of the first run of Sandman, they're starting to get a little bit of heat on them. So I decided, why not go ahead and pick that up? I would feel silly if I didn't. Then I got some local shop finds here. I think we'll do this little stack, and then we're going to do some Walmart mystery gimmicks after this. So everyone loves some mystery gimmicks. So I got this. This was I don't know if this was a bit of a splurge purchase for me. This is kind of one of those ones, I want to read this run. I felt like if I don't pick it up here and now at this price, I'd kick myself later. And that is the Miles Morales Spider-Man issue 1 through 21 and a nice convenient brick from my local shop. It was $70, which I believe factors out to pretty much cover for the entire run. But I know any of these Miles issue ones, they're way up there already or higher than they probably should be. And I think this run also has like the Gwen Stacy love thing, whatever that is. I haven't read this run yet, so I don't know if people like those issues, so they've gone up. I think, and I saw J. Scott Campbell on the back, so once I saw that one, I'm like, yeah, I may as well just pick up this brick because I think I had a $10 coupon with my shop, so I got it for like $60. So yeah, got that whole thing. I have to bag and board them once I get them read. He had some surprising dollar books, and I think there were 8 of them here. This one I think I caught slipping on. I mean, I don't think it's a big value book or anything, but I can't find Turtles around here for anything. Turtles is always hidden, and yeah. But I got a Turtles Adventures 55, so late run Adventures. I'll take that all day for $1. It's not even destroyed like a lot of these Archie like grocery store era books nowadays. So I found this behind a whole stack of Archie, so now I'm gonna have to look through them like every time I go in. And then I just got some run filler for my Spider-Man and X-Men runs. Found this for $1, X-Men 164. Thought that was great because I didn't have that book yet. Got a Green Lantern 162. Trying to run fill this a little bit before they might skyrocket, maybe not because of that show. Another run filler X-Men for me, 187. Newsstand, as Barbarian Kung Fu joins the chat. How's it going, man? He says, howdy. Nice to see Barbarian Kung Fu in the chat. Definitely like that. Chris Barrett says, I think I actually turned that Miles Gwen issue into collage. That's awesome, man. That's really cool. I like when people do that type of stuff. And then when I see $1 Amazing Spider-Man from the late 70s, early 80s, I'm probably going to buy it no matter what. Got a Amazing Spidey 259 for $1. Newsstand once again. These are a bit beat up, lower grade copies, but hey, for $1, that's a no-brainer. Got a diamond variant on 188, 242. And I don't think I even had this one in the collection. JR, one of his better Juggernaut covers, and he's not even drawn on there. Issue 229 does have a little bit of Battle Sun damage there, but still like the condition on the book. And then a few splurge purchases / run filler once again for me. Got another Spider-Man 197. Cool Kingpin cover. Paid $5 for it, but it was fairly clean copy for $5. Usually he would charge more than this at the shop, but it was $5, so I just threw it in the pile just to get something that day. X-Men 192, $3. It was needed to complete the run for me. I don't know how come this one wasn't in my run yet, but the $3 copy helped. 168. Kitty Pryde, one of my favorite X-Men, so I had to have this one. And then probably my ultimate splurge of the day, besides the Spider-Man block of books there, X-Men 201. Who will lead the team? I have never found that because I've never been able to find this book for affordable for whatever reason. So very happy. It's $10 still. I know that's a lot in my world, but it was a newsstand. It was a 201, and it's just one of those few sub 200 issue. I think I'm down to like maybe like 210 and 234. I think are the last ones in the 200s I actually want to get. All the way up until the end of the Claremont run. Everything else I have in the box in that closet there. So I was missing 201 for whatever reason. So happy to get that. Barbarian Kung Fu says, got to make sure check them all. The newsies for the Mark Jewelers inserts. Yeah, I definitely need to at least also rebag these at some point too. And now I'm looking at the top just to make sure we're not going to have a fun surprise here. Yep. I see no Mark Jewelers peeking out on those few, but yeah, usually anymore, like I'll rebag all my stuff. I'll usually open the middle, see if there's anything fun hiding there, like a Mark Jewelers. And then I even have now the habit of opening up the first page to make sure no one signed on the inside. Like that time I sent my giant size X-Men #1 to get graded, and apparently it was signed on the inside. I never even saw the signature from Dave Cockrum because I got it and then I sent it. So silly me. All right, let's go ahead. And Chris Barrett, he loves him some Banshee. It's his favorite, his boy Banshee. So let's see what we got from Walmart. So I've been going to Walmart from time to time. I'm always looking for the NECA turtles that they never have. And then one day it was so quiet because it was so early in the morning. I actually got a chance to finally go through the line where they keep their comics. So hopefully we got a handy dandy cutting tool here. So figured why not have some fun on the stream and get a couple books just to get something that day. This is my problem. I go place, I ain't get anything. I may as well get something. And then I end up with stacks on stacks on stacks. So got two mystery things here. We got a 3-pack of, I think these are more modern books. I think it's like $8 or $9. And it's got a really cool Black Panther Alex Ross cover there. So I thought that was real nice. So I figured either way I'm going to win there because it's an Alex Ross #1. And rather that was originally the A cover. I don't know. But it's a cool cover nonetheless. And then there was like this like 7 for $10 brick of Marvel comics with an Iron Man #1 on the front. So who knows what to expect in here? Because usually it's like 3 for $8.98, and then they had this 7 for $10. So we'll see what we find. So let's start with the smaller one first and see if there's anything fun in here. And usually I don't have too much luck. Maybe because I don't have luck with these. It's just I find myself slipping away from like the current comic book scene. So some of these like newer covers or like new key characters I'm just not super familiar with. So I kind of just fall behind and all that stuff. Oh God, there's an Eternals book. Anyway, I'm already looking at this price here. Of course, we got the Black Panther on the front, so I was happy with that because this was probably originally what. So this is a $5 book off the shelf anyway. It says it was a cover 6, whatever that means. So I don't know if that's ratio or not. What gave me the reaction is the Eternals #7. I'm not the biggest Eternals fan out there. I guess you get Thanos, so that might be fun. And then I haven't looked at the last book yet. Star Wars High Republic #8, second printing. So I guess those Star Wars fans out there may get excited about this one. Maybe I'll flip through it, see what it's like. So yeah, the Marvel Star Wars stuff that I've read has been pretty good. But I don't know anything about the High Republic stuff. But yeah, random second printing of a book. That's fun. And yeah, we'll move on to the bigger bundle. So Chris Barrett says Iron Man 1. I already lost some money. And then Barbarian Kung Fu says, just found an Art Adams Sig and an FF book on the first page the other day. That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's what some of the fun things about collecting randoms in this hobby is. I actually got a book from Half Price Books. I'm not familiar with the artist, but I did find something fun inside that book. So we'll get to that coming up shortly. So it looks like this one is actually like, that's weird. So I got the first bag off. So what this is they combined one of the 3-packs. So this was originally a 3-pack they couldn't sell with another 3-pack they couldn't sell. And for some reason, a second printing of Guardians of the Galaxy 5 thrown in, I guess, Donny Cates. So yeah, maybe I'll read this one day just to complete like the Donny Cates Marvel saga, because his Venom stuff, at least the first wave of Venom stuff, was good. Silver Surfer Black was enjoyable enough, but I never got into the Guardian side of things, which is around that same point. So maybe I'll read that one day. Let's see. We got 2 packages here to look at. So we got Return of the Valkyries, King in Black number 1 was the book on top. So there's that. Oh, God, I see a lenticular. Oh, God. No wonder why this was in a bigger bundle. So there's that. Probably just dollar fodder all day. So we got Marvel Snapshots, Captain America. At least this is one of the better lenticulars in my opinion. I think I actually already own this one. But I guess it's also kind of timely. The Moon Knight lenticular of that awesome Bill Sienkiewicz cover. So yeah, I guess not a complete loss there because I do really like that cover. Yeah, because Bill Sienkiewicz did both of them. Of course, that's why it's great. So yeah, there you go. Awful Marvel lenticular, but at least Bill Sienkiewicz made it work. Let's see what's in the Iron Man one. I'm kind of curious to see what ratio number this Iron Man book was, because it does say variant edition. All right, let's pop this bad boy open and see what we got here. Hopefully not another lenticular or Eternals. All right, so here's the Iron Man. It says it's a 0. Okay. Apparently they just got up to the number 20 on these variants, maybe. I don't know, but there's that. So what we got here, Iron Man 2020. This is the Dan Slott issue number 3, so complete. I kind of actually wanted to read this from the start because I do like Dan Slott, but issue 3 is obviously not the greatest starting point. And then another Guardians of the Galaxy 2099 variants. So there we go. Walmart books. Yay. We'll put those to the side over here. And then we're going back to half-price books because we got so many half-price books to show. And then I'm going to show this stack. And then we're going to talk about some original art. And then we're going to show some more books because we got so many books. Now, a lot of these, I actually need to figure out how to remove the sticker because a lot of these were in the, they were next to like the trade paperbacks and the video game strategy guides. But I did find a couple fun ones that I actually I bought these to read, so I'm not too heartbroken, even though it was $7 I paid for these, but they're originally $10, for both of them. That's the Alex Ross US from the DC Vertigo line. So Alex Ross did the whole book. So I've always kind of wanted to read it because I got to read all the Alex Ross I can because it's freaking Alex Ross. Like, why wouldn't I want these? So first one was 4, the second one was 3, but unfortunately, I think because of the format, I should be able to peel that right off. Hopefully. And here's a book I just end up buying every time I see it because I like it. The DC Rebirth Kickoff for $2. I don't think I actually had the first print on this. I think this is the first print. Maybe it's the second print. I can't remember. But nonetheless, I don't think I had this exact. Oh, it is the second printing because it's $5.99. I think the other one was like $2.99 or something. So either way, I don't think I have this exact cover. I may still need the first printing. Maybe, maybe not. But nonetheless, DC Rebirth, $2. And then Fantastic Four, $3.58. Always liked this one. Had this as a kid. Probably still somewhere in the collection. You got that like circle, then you open it up and it's got all the characters there. Always a great book to own. Nice early 90s Marvel with full-on 90s gimmicks. So gotta love it. And then here, I don't know. Yeah, I know why I bought this because it's just not something you see every day. So a Spawn trade paperback that was from, the 90s. So it was $3. Figured why not. Just always like collecting these older trades you just don't see every day. And then here's one I was referencing earlier. I have no idea who this artist is. Jeremy Sorrell, it looks like, called the J-Bot Sketchbook. So like I was talking about the Neil Adams sketchbook I got earlier, how I kind of like always finding random stuff like this. This is only $3, by the way, but the main reason I bought it is I was just like, I wonder if I open this up, if it's going to be signed. And not only was it signed at the bottom, it actually has this is an actual sketch that I guess Jeremy Sorrell put on the inside of his sketchbook for somebody. And it was from 2013. So you guys know me, I love me some sketches. So pretty happy with this for $3. I like finding, random art books for $3 or less and throwing them in the collection. Then we got Young Avengers number 12. I was talking about this run earlier. I think this is either the last or the next to last issue. I can't remember if it ran 12 or 13. I really like this run, so I had to get that for $1. Threw this in the pile for $2. It's a DC Comics Presents Annual, and it's a really clean newsstand for $2. Got Punisher Warzone number 1 for $1. Like, why not, I guess. I actually left this there a couple trips, and I like on that third trip, I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll just go and pick this up since I got a stack going. Picked up another copy of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think these are reprints, if I remember right. But like I said, I see the Steranko covers. I pick them up. Got the Kevin Smith, Walter Flanagan, Batman Cacophony number 1. I've always wanted to read this because I do like the Kevin Smith DC stuff, like the Green Arrow run he had back in the day. Didn't read the Cacophony yet, though, so figured I'd throw that in for $1. Got some Buffies. Found some random Certificate of Authenticity Dynamic Forces Buffy. So this one is like Buffy the Vampire Slayer Valentine's Day special or something like that. And it has purple foil. And because it's 90s Dynamic Forces, you get the whole nines. You get the gimmicks shiny sticker. You get the Certificate of Authenticity telling you that they probably printed like 3,000 copies. So the 90s kid in me had to have this all day for $1. That was a no-brainer. Also got Buffy the Origin number 1 gold edition. Now, this one did not come with a Certificate of Authenticity, but I'm going to assume it was pretty much also like some sort of Dynamic Forces something. But gold, shiny Buffy from the 90s, Sarah Michelle Gellar photo cover. Yeah, that was a no-brainer. Found an Aranya number 1. I got to figure out how to get some stickers off there because that Book World one is on the book. So wish me luck, I guess, but it was a $1 copy. New Avengers number 3. Usually if it's the first run of New Avengers, I just pick it up anymore. Especially this one was a newsstand. So love the newsstand gimmicks. You got to love it. And then a bunch of Mass Effect. I found a Mass Effect Foundation issues 10, 11, and 12. So I think they got to the point where like they have this like feature rack when you first walk in, where they just throw random stuff. I think they finally got to the point, if we put Mass Effect on the shelf, this guy will come in and buy it every week. And that's where I found these books at. So I'm trying to complete like the entire Mass Effect Dark Horse run at this point. They were actually kind of close in these dollar bins. Because if you try to buy these online, they're not the cheapest books in the world. Like those licensed video game books from Dark Horse, like your Mass Effects, and your especially Last of Us, now that's going to be an HBO series. You either don't see them at all or they're overpriced online. So to be able to get them for $1 makes me very happy. And then I found Invasion number 3 as well. I think I need to collect more of the Invasion ones when I can find them. And then random Marvel Age. We got Marvel Age number 13 for $1. Started just to pick those up too because they're a lot of fun to collect. Mass Effect Redemption number 1. If I remember right, my facts could be completely wrong. I think this came with one of the video games, and I think this is technically the first time Mass Effect was printed into a comic, I think. So I was very happy to find this because I thought it was something I was never going to be able to find for, let alone for $1. I have no idea what this is. This looks like a Metarog type item, basically. So shout out to Metarog. Or a Silver Age Dave, maybe. It says Marvel Comics presents Captain America, some sort of like tiny ash can sized book. It was $1. I'm just like, I have no idea what this is. Probably a freebie in something or like a cereal box. I don't know. But But for $1, it looked cool enough. I just threw it in the pile. I got Marvel Age number 27 for $1. Another Mass Effect, $4. Foundation number 5. It's got the cast Mass Effect 2 on there. And then one of my better half-price books finds lately, which is funny because my brother just returned my copy of this that he didn't even realize that he had in his collection until I asked for it. His first appearance, King Shark, Superboy number 9. So got this. I found it for $1 like the same week he gave me back my signed Humberto Ramos copy. But the sweet thing about this, it's the DC Universe variant for $1. So now I have 2 first appearances of King Shark finally. One signed and the other the DCU logo variant for $1. So I almost did like a little high-pitched squeal in the store when I saw this one. So I was really happy with that. I know Barbarian Kung Fu likes that mini comic. Nice. And he says, Moon Knight 188 Lenticular is a $10 book, so you broke even. LOL. Then I can just push off the rest for nothing. Excellent. It'll probably be $1 books down the line. Like Iron Man number 1. Yeah, that'll be a $1 book. All right, let's talk about some original art purchase. I guess this one's not really original art, but it's kind of something that's going to go on my wall in my house anyway. So it's art nonetheless. I got this off a Whatnot auction, actually. Mike Zeck was on Whatnot. He had like a person there auctioning stuff for him, but he was there with another person, mainly selling signed copies of books, which, wow, those were going for some big time bucks. But the print, I bought a print actually, and I guess this print was exclusive to the Whatnot sale. And the number on this print, they only made 100 of them, but the number was 83, which was the year I was born. So I had to have this one, but really cool Mike Zeck print. He had to put that awesome, huge signature of his on there. And it was numbered 83 of 100. So this will be going on my wall somewhere in my house. Pretty happy I won one of those because there was a lot of action on these prints by the time I got to the auction. So I think I was just kind of got there just in time. So the people who they either were done buying the prints or were interested in the signed comics, or for some reason there was like a Secret Wars number 8 print that they were paying triple figures for a Secret Wars 8 print, not even the book, the print. Yeah, but I was happy to get this for not triple figures, and it's actually under this frame I put it in. It's canvased, so it's a canvas print. It's very high quality. I'm very happy with that purchase. Before I show off the original art, I do want to say hi to Howler Mouse. How's it going, man? He says hi. I was about to ask if that was the DCU variant. Yeah, man. I was so happy to pick this up because I had this book as a kid too, and I think I was going to get, I was going to a Tom Grummett signing, and I could not find my copy. And my brother finally found my copy that I had signed by Humberto Ramos in his collection. So he gave it back to me, and then like literally maybe 3 days later, got this at half-price books. So it's just weird how it all works out. I did show this next piece on my Instagram, so if you guys caught that, awesome. If not, here it is. I got this Tom Darren commission piece of the Huntress. So I did pay a little bit of money for this one, but considering the amount of work he put into this, and it did take a lot of time to get back too. But this is one of my finest art pieces in my collection, in my opinion. Just awesome backgrounds on that. Gotham City looks great. Huntress looks amazing on it. Very happy with this piece. The main reason I'm doing this video today, instead of putting it off another day, I keep telling myself I need to do my haul video so I can hang this art finally instead of having it sit on a table in my downstairs room. So part of the reason of me doing this tonight with you guys is so I can finally hang this in my living room. So there's my Huntress piece of art. Very happy. Shout out to Tom Darren. He knocked it out of the park, even though it took like 9 months to get this back. Very happy with it. And I had the exact opposite experience time-wise with this next artist. I got a Romeo Tangle Sr. piece. And this guy, I don't know if he just made this in his sleep and sent it the next day, or has a bunch of these pre-done. He just sends them upon request. But either way, I'm extremely happy with this next piece. But I was on a Facebook sketch group, and they said Romeo Tangle is accepting commissions again. But to get on his commission list, you can't just not just message him. You have to get a hold of him, of course, so you can start to create that communication. but he doesn't do PayPal or any digital form of payment. He accepts paycheck in the year 2022. So actually, to get this piece, I actually had to go make sure I still had a checkbook, which I do. I had to find a stamp because I barely mail anything anymore. And I had to unbend an envelope I had in a storage box somewhere to send a check for payment for this to Romeo Tangle. And by the time it's probably like an hour had passed probably since he got that letter. And he messaged me. He's like, was this you who sent this check? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, here's your tracking number. I'm like, huh? I'm so used to having to wait forever for art, but nonetheless, here's the piece he sent me back. Like probably 7 days for me dropping the check in the mail and then getting this on my doorstep. So he's either the most efficient artist alive, or maybe he had a few pre-done pieces. But either way, he did a quick return, which is awesome. I got this really awesome Starfire from him. Very happy with this piece as well. I was kind of like gauging, the characters he was great at, because he did a lot of fill-in work for Perez in the 80s, obviously. Followed up on that Titans run for him. So I was kind of looking at other characters he's done. And, so at first I was like, maybe I'll get something different. He's done tons of Starfires. He might want to do something else. And I was just like, I was looking at the other work he did, and Starfire was Miles, in my opinion, his best character he would draw. Maybe Raven would be a close second, but I'm like, I'll get Starfire. But he did some cool watercolor work in the background. The hair is, of course, awesome, as Starfire's hair should be, and it's just beautiful all around. So very happy with that. Definitely want to hit up Romeo Tangle again in the future if I see he has any more sales, because the turnaround time on that. Oh yeah, Chris Barrett loves him some Raven. That's right. He also respects the paycheck man. And Barbarian loves the art. So let's see. We might have. Yeah, of course, we got more books down here. I'm just trying not to destroy them, getting them off the ground. We'll go through these real fast. Another Mass Effect. Like I said, I'm going to collect them all. I'm going to read them all. I really like Mass Effect, and I like the extra lore they have built around that whole world, or universe, I should say. It's all great stuff. If you never played the video games, figure out a way to play the video games, because they're great. Got some 20 centers. Invisible Woman number 3, Adam Hughes cover. Great cover for 20 cents. I found this like Amy Chu signed ash can of something called Saving Abby. Never heard of it, but it was a 20-cent signed ash can. So I figured I'd be goofy to leave that laying. I was shopping some of these free comic book day books because I was looking for another copy of Umbrella Academy, I'll be honest. But these were all 20 cents. I hate Image number 1, free comic book day. Michael Turner on Worlds of Aspa 2013. It was postmortem, but still love the Mike Turner cover. And then a couple Robert Kirkman properties. Got the Super Dinosaur Origin Special. And then this is probably the one that made me start putting together a stack, because people are speculating on it for some reason. And I only have a signed copy, which I plan on keeping. So I'm like, 20 cents, I won't leave this laying. Standing Wolfman number 1. Cool read, cool Jason Howard art. But yeah, I figured why not go ahead and throw that in the pile, and I did. Got Black Panther number 1 for $1. Got the Tex Sabretooth run, all 4 issues, $1 a piece. And I think there's a few, there's 2 of the 4 are newsstand, including the first one. But yeah, always like the art in these. So might have to get these signed by Tex next time. He goes to a lot of cons. May actually have to get this run signed by him. Thor second printing number 2. So Jason Aaron Thor, I kind of not sleeping on those. Uncanny X-Men 517, Greg Land cover, $1. It was signed by Greg Land. I don't know if Greg Land still no longer charges. He might start charging for signatures. But you know me, I love signed comics. I'm probably not going to leave them in dollar bins. I'm probably just going to keep picking them up. I don't think I own the final issue of Uncanny X-Men, which is $5.44, so I threw that in the pile for $1. Really awesome David Mack Willow cover on a Willow one-shot, like Willow's Wonderland. Yeah, so David Mack drawing one of my favorite Buffy characters. X-Men Grand designed for $1, the variant cover, I believe. Yeah, it's the B cover to that. Don't know why this was in there for $1, but it was. I think it's a condition upgrade for me. Uncanny X-Men 256, Psylocke issue. They had the following issue as well for $1, number 257. I probably have this somewhere, but I don't know if I don't remember this cover at all. I thought it looked nice, so I threw it in. Champions number 3, Miss Marvel cover. And then First Great 10, 52, number 6. Said it once, say it again. Read 52. It's excellent. I love 52. Don't pass this up if you're doing like the big DC 2000s read. Like if you're going from like Identity Crisis to Final Crisis, trying to read that whole era of DC, don't skip 52. It's some of the best DC in my opinion. All right. Still got more stack. Promise we're almost done with the books. You guys already been here for an hour. Thank you guys so much for joining me on a Saturday night here. Flash 200, Jeff Johns Flash. Actually, I may go get this. I'm actually going to Indiana Comic-Con on Saturday. Scott Collins will be there, so maybe I'll set that one on the side to get signed this Saturday. While we're talking about Jeff Johns, here's Greenland Rebirth. This is a 4th printing, so I think I've almost gotten every single printing of this book now. Here's the 3rd printing on issue number 2. We got the Justice Villains cover, which I think, yeah, I've got the Heroes cover on the wall signed by Alex Ross, but I don't think I had the Villains cover. Now I do. Someone I know who likes to buy from me, who likes Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur, so I bought issue 41 for $1. So one day I might read some of those. I heard really good things about that run. A really nice copy of an 80-page summer special. Newsstand edition too. I'm always a sucker for this book for some reason. I think it's just because I really enjoyed the con it's from. Ultimate X-Men 50. Book's okay. I just like the Wizard World Chicago from back in the day. So this is probably like my 3rd copy of this. I got it signed by Andy Kubert, who did the art on it way back when, probably like 06 maybe. And every time I see his book for $1, I just throw it in the pile because a lot of people around here, I guess, attended the con because this is probably my 3rd or 4th copy of a con exclusive for $1. Warlord number 1, just a really cool cover on that. I think that's Mike Grill. Yeah, Mike Grill on that. So really cool. Warlord number 1. Got this like Jim Lee photo variant cover that was getting buzzed for a little bit for 20 cents. Oh yeah, this one was 20 cents, by the way. And then I think I got one more bag. I don't even know what's in this bag. It might be low. Okay, yeah, this is from my local shop. I got a whole 5-issue run of Bebop and Rocksteady hit the road. So it was $3 an issue, so $1 undercover for Turtles. I had to cave on that one because it's Turtles. Like I said, I don't see it. And then just some local finds. I'll show one cover from this because I just need to read these books. They're just moderns, of course. Kevin Eastman drawing Weapon X Wolverine, a cool random variant. So I wondered what I did with my copy of that. So that's pretty much all the comics I'm going to show. Let's show some toys because why not? Let's go ahead and wrap up with some toys here, but we're going to get to the chat first. Howler says 52 is so much better than what it should have been. Yeah, they had some heavy hitters on that book. I mean, when you put Johns, Morrison, Mark Waid, and Greg Ruck on the same book, it better be good. I just feel bad that they tried to follow it up so many times, and it was just like 1 step forward, 10 steps back with every weekly they had, except for like, what was it? Wednesday Comics was weekly, if I remember right. That one was pretty cool, but that went over a lot of people's heads. But the fact that they followed it up with Countdown was trash compared to 52. That's when some weird editorial decisions started coming into place. Just out of it by the time things like Trinity came out, which I heard was okay, but not great. And then, what was the other, like the Future State one that eventually happened? I think that was a weekly. And then the Batman stuff, like Batman Eternal and Batman Robin Eternal. They took a good thing and ran it into the ground, basically. But 52 was an excellent start to that idea. Barbarian says, do you chance follow Froggy Lips? He's a Hoosier as well around Evansville, I think. No, I don't, but I'll definitely have to look them up because I think I've only picked the Evansville area very quickly once because I was with my family, so I didn't get a chance to like go to some of those like bigger spots and dig for long periods of time. Like, oh, there's a comic shop, convince the whole family to stop so I can spend a few minutes, realize there's a lot of cool stuff in there, but have to hit the road and not really get too deep into the boxes. So, yeah, Evansville is definitely an area I want to hit more of at some point. But it is a little bit of a drive for me, probably like at least 2 hours plus. So yeah, usually I need to go north a little bit more too. So we're gonna wrap up with some toys here. So NECA is having like, I don't know if it's called like Haul-a-thon. It's like a promotion they're having through Target, where they just slam Targets with Ninja Turtle toys basically. And around here, like the Ninja Turtle stuff, like there's this like little shop in the mall, and I don't know if they buy a lot of the toys there or what, and but he doesn't sell too many turtle toys in his shop, so maybe there's personal collection. But somebody somewhere in the city is a very good collector of turtles because they're getting there before I am. But luckily, they've been building end caps of turtle toys at Target, so I'm like, I better get something out of this promotion that they're running with Target. And luckily, I went in there on the right day and found some of the good stuff. We'll start with this big one. We got the 4-pack of turtles from the cartoon. So I actually did end up selling my original 2-packs last year. I just wanted some extra money to go to Orlando, Florida with the Comic Core family. So I was like, I may as well sell those because I had such bad luck finding the other toys in this line, especially like the Casey and April. That's the one that really was disheartening to me. But then it was like by happenstance, I walked in last week and I found this 4-pack, which I think I may actually open these up and display them because you kind of see on the box there are imperfections. Like Donnie's face is kind of missing there. Leo's got a chunk taken out of his shoulder. So the box isn't perfect. So I may finally unbox some NECA figures and then play with that. And then I had to have this one. There's the Fugitoid, which the really cool thing about this one is it has original Kevin Eastman art on the box. So he actually did the art just for this figure on all around the box. So I saw this on one of their preview videos about a month or two ago. I'm like, I need that Fugitoid figure. So I was extremely, and that both those figures right there, that's the only one they had of each of those. They only had a couple of each of these, but I did go ahead and pick them up because I thought they looked really cool. So we have the Muckman, but this is the really cool, like all green one. The box at least glows in the dark, but not. I feel like the figure should glow in the dark unless mine's defective and doesn't for some reason. But really cool looking figure. Like these bigger, like deluxe figures they've been putting out are really awesome. I've been very happy with all the ones I've been finding. I was happy to get this last one though. They did a re-release on Metalhead because I think I have like figures 2, 3, 4, and then my buddy Chad from the Comic Core bought me the Mondo Gecko, which I couldn't find around here, even though it was plentiful everywhere else that I could find, just not around here. But yeah, this was the first one, which they do have them numbered on the side at the bottom here. So the fact that I missed the first one was annoying to me after a while, but they finally re-released it, and there it is. So really cool, really happy with that. And then I did pre-order. I think Target had them up. They had the Slash Leatherhead 2-pack, which at least at this point, I just kind of wouldn't mind getting the villains at this point. Because that Casey and April, I hope they re-release it like they have some of the other ones, but it's not looking great so far. Let's close out with some comments here. We got Hallermouth says on 50 that Keith Giffen sitting in the corner during the meeting. The editor told all the writers for the first time they dropped the ball. Giffen was taking over. Giffen supposedly stared them down. LOL. Yeah, I remember actually, because it's up in that corner there. I actually got one of the 52. I think it's the week 1 con variant signed by a bunch of, including Keith Giffen, which I think he's the one they kept him around. He mainly did like the art breakdowns and directed like all these art because every issue of these has a different artist because it's weekly. Plus they have the backup stories with like an Adam Hughes type artist that does like 2 pages. So I think they had Keith Giffen directing all of the traffic on the art breakdowns and all that other stuff and being like the lead on it or the go-to guy. So yeah, that would make sense if, they can't keep up with the workload by the time they get to like issue 20, 30, 40. Someone's got to fill in to keep that book weekly, and Keith Giffen was definitely a good guy to do that. Chris Barrett loves those toys. All right, so, oh my God, my room is trash now for showing stuff. An hour and 10 minutes solid, so one day I'll sort all this. But big thank you guys for joining me this Saturday evening. Hope you guys have some great luck digging through those boxes. And if you're at Indiana Comic-Con next week on a Saturday, look for me. I'll be there. Till next time, I'll see you guys later.